No, take the gray one.
Yeah, mine.
Here.
And good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I think I'm all set up here. Kathy's in the house. The mod queen. Mr. Maynard, how you doing, brother? Gosh, long time no talk. Oh, Dave was going live at the same time. So I've been trying to go live every Sunday at 6 when time permits and when things are going good. Last week I was finishing up that video and still trying to finish a product. It's hard to work a full-time job. You know, last week I did 65 and a half hours and then still try and do content and do projects at home. And then, you know, you only have a little bit of limited time to do projects. And hey, How to Garden, thanks for popping in. Thank you. You only have a little bit of time to do projects and then to try and record them and do content. I mean, good grief, you guys know it. All you creators out there, you guys know it takes how much more time it takes to do a video than if you just get the project done. So I've done a couple of different projects to where I decided I wasn't going to video it. I was just going to do the project. For example, my ham radio, I made a custom bracket, a custom install on my truck, and I didn't video any of it because a lot of it kind of, you know, it's welding and cutting and fabbing and that kind of stuff, and not a lot of people can do that kind of work. So when I was doing my big radio tower antenna, I filmed a lot of that, and people were interested, but I don't think it didn't really take off, and I thought, well, a lot of people they don't know how to weld. So anyway, I'll do a quick little, one of my next disaster preparedness videos is going to be talking about emergency preparations. What's up, Jeremy Lawson? What's up, brother? My brother from Oregon, guy I grew up with when I was a kid. RG Homestead, thanks for coming in. Thank you very much. Move North Homestead, how's it going? Thank you for coming in. Fantastic. Oh, we already got a good crowd tonight. We got some great topics to discuss tonight, guys. I got to do a little better job of trying to keep these at an hour. And I'm blaming it all on you guys because you guys chatted up like crazy. Hey, Brenda, thanks for coming in. Thank you very much. Duncan 1900 is in the house. That's Brenda. Move North Homestead. What is your name? I probably wrote it down somewhere, but let me have your name again. Moved North. I so many channels I'm following. I know so many people. Let's see. Doing good. Jeremy Loss is my brother. What? You're not going to tell me your name? I like to call people by their first names if I can. Move North Homestead. What's your name? Give me your first name. I like because I know almost all these people by first name basis by this time. Diana, okay, Diana, I've seen you in all these other chats too. I've seen your name pop up and people say hi to you, so I can call you Diana. Hey, Jeremy, you keep quiet. And if you dispel any of the dirt that you got on me as we were growing up, I'm gonna ban you from the channel. So you have been warned. My channel, my rules. Anyway, Olivia's getting the kids going. The kids are college kids, and they're going to go barbecue hot dogs with the college group from church on the top of a parking structure and watch the sunset. Fantastic, good, clean fun. The kids are doing their social distancing. So, hey, Victoria May, thanks for coming tonight. Thank you, awesome, fantastic. So we've got some people going to be coming into the live tonight. They're going to be a few minutes late. We'll really get into the topics here pretty quick. But we've got Bruce Sarge going to join us in a little bit. And this live stream is basically based off of a conversation that I had with Brett Broussard this week. And so it's got to try and keep these things, like I said, down to an hour. And you guys know me. I can go for a couple of hours before I start losing my voice. But it's all you guys' fault. So you guys are some of the most chatty, conversational channels out there, and almost all you guys are all creators anyway. So you guys like to talk, and this is part of the whole community thing. And that's we learn from each other. We've learned so much, and it's just been a fantastic ride. I started doing this really a year ago, and I can't believe already up to I'm almost at 1,500 subscribers, and I mean, a year ago I was happy just to see 100 coming my way, So it's really come a long ways. It was really fun watching Melissa and Jeremy from Good Simple Living. They made their final move to their place in Idaho from Washington, and we're super excited for them. It was pretty amazing. She said that in the last 2 weeks since they left, they gained 6,000 subscribers. Blows my mind. But anyway. Hey, Christy, there's my sister. All right, now we can start. Awesome. We got a good group in here tonight. So, well, let's just dive right into it, guys. I'll get some. You guys are great people, and yeah, Jeremy, my buddy, Jeremy Lawson here, my childhood friend, one of my two best friends in the 3rd and 4th grade. When we were up in Oregon, and my mom was sick of cancer in the hospital. She was in the hospital in and out for 2.5 years. And Jeremy Lawson was one of the guys that I spent a lot of time with. Anyway, he just put a garden in, and that looked great, Jeremy. He's on Instagram, and he posted those pictures. That looks great. Your garden looks great. Raised beds and everything. Fantastic. It's awesome. So, Jeremy, quick question. Are you guys going to do any canning? Are you guys going to do anything to preserve any of that food? Because the garden beds that you put in, that's a lot of stuff's going to be coming up. I know for the little plot that we have in our backyard, it produces too much for us to eat. It all comes ripe all at the same time, and you just can't preserve it. So you either have to freeze it, bag it, and freeze it, or you have to can it. And we've been canning here for the last 15 years now. We've been doing canning here at our urban homestead here in California. So that's going to be part of the story as well tonight, Jeremy. So anyway, we're going to talk about that. Hey, Barefoot, thank you for coming in. Thank you very much. I've got Kathy as a mod in here tonight, and who else do I got in here tonight? And I got Dave, Southern Ohio, is going to pop in a little bit later. And I've got Brett. Those guys are going to come in, and so hey guys, this is a great topic. You like to, but you don't know how. Well, hey, Jeremy, what's going to happen, what you'll see, and I don't usually get trolls in here, but you're going to invariably, when you start visiting people's live streams on occasion, you will start seeing, when you go to people that live stream on a regular basis, and even not the regular basis ones, you're going to see these little snowflake dirtbag 30-year-olds that live in their mommy's basement, have nothing to do, go online and they start trolling around on the internet looking for people to bother. And so they'll join the live stream and start dropping all kinds of nasty names and comments and whatnot. And so when you do a live stream, you have some of your regulars, you give them what they call a wrench. You make them a moderator, and that gives them the power to delete comments and hide comments and put users on timeout. I have to, if I see somebody, I can block them and remove them from the chat permanently, so they can't come back in. So that's what a moderator is while I'm doing a live stream, when I'm talking, when I'm blabbing, I don't have time to try and moderate the comments that are coming through. And as the channel grows, gosh, we get, we'll get 30 people in here. We might get up to 30 people tonight. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how many people are not barbecuing outside tonight, which most people are. But well, hang out, Jeremy, and watch how it goes. And you start watching the comments. And so as a moderator, you take on the task of watching, not just listening to what the guys, what the live streamer is talking about, what the content is, but you're actually watching all the comments. And you got to act pretty fast, because especially the nasty ones, you really want to clean up the comments. So when you get to a channel, when they've got tens of thousands of subscribers, they'll have 200 or 300 people watching at one time, and you've got to have a couple of moderators in there that are on it and ready to delete comments, because you don't want. There's two things. Not only you want to make it family friendly, but you want to make sure that YouTube doesn't flag you for having, because there are channels that are devoted to rated R content, basically, and so they'll just say all kinds of horrible stuff. I've seen them, and I was actually had gone into some live streams, and when I first started doing YouTube, I started like looking for live streams and started meeting some people and stuff, and they were I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me, sorry guys. Nope, don't have the Red Dragon. Ford Lincoln Mercury, there's my mechanic diesel brother, the diesel brainiac. He lives up in Wyoming, and they got like 6 inches of snow this last week in Wyoming this week. So what's up, Brian? How you doing, brother? Thanks for popping in. Let's see. Holy smokes, Roots and Refuge. Yeah, so Roots and Refuge, Jeremy, go check out their channel. They're a neat Christian couple, and they do a ton of gardening, and they are fantastic. Humongous channel, 1,200. So North Star Prepsteader, that's Kathy. She's also a Christian up there in Michigan, and she's a moderator all over. We call her the Mod Queen because she is such a good moderator, and we love joining her live. She does a live stream on Mondays. And I've whacked trolls in her live streams. We had some nasty ones a few weeks back. Remember that, Kathy? That was bad. And I had just happened to get back on my phone. I was in my crane, and I saw it, and I was like, bam! And I got rid of that troll. Like, I was really proud of myself. Anyway, yeah, 1,200 people in the chat. That's crazy. So when you get that many people, you know, right now it looks like we have 16 people in here. There's no way that once you get to like 30 people, there's no way you can even keep up with all the comments all the time. So anyway, you gonna moderate for me or no?
No, I'm just gonna sit
on.
here with you.
All right, the better half's gonna come join us. So
Oh my goodness.
that's mine. Well, I need
Get you
one.
another one.
Thank you.
I didn't know. I thought it was there.
No, I brought it over here just in case. I've got my tea just in case for my scratchy throat. I don't have a scratchy throat yet, but me when I have my mouth starts running and starts drying my mouth out. So I'll have a cough drop here sometimes if I need it. So anyway, anyways, hey, the Bruce Sargent in the house. All right, now we can. Steve, what's up, brother? Thank you for coming in. Fantastic. So what? You were just called Kathy? You were called racist on Roots and Refuge because you had to.
Hi, Chad.
Wow, some Turkish dudes. Oh, you're a racist, Kathy. Kathy is the nicest lady in the whole world, and Victoria May. You subbed Kathy a long time ago. Give me a break. You already know who Kathy is. Kathy says, oh, you saw that already. Mm-hmm. Steve is the other prepper from, he's right there in Thousand Oaks. So, did I say, gosh dang it, Minnesota. I'm sorry. You know what? It's all those northern states where the Eskimos migrated from Alaska to. So I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I just can't remember everybody. So, Chad and... You chat 9 to 5 to Life off grid. They are moving to Michigan. They're the ones that bought some property up there, and we're all following their journey, their escape from the 9 to 5 to life, from their 9 to 5 life. Okay, that was a squirrel right there. Kathy, you just threw the biggest squirrel up there. That just blows my mind. Somebody called you a racist. They have no clue. And that's the thing about keyboard warriors. They'll just put stuff out there. So anyway. That was a long answer to your question, Jeremy. But I have the other moderator, Brett, in the house. Thank you for coming in. Well, let's dive into it, guys. So heck, now that's the title. Now what? I had a great conversation with Brett this week. Not just my whole mouth. I know you were the last person to be racist, Kathy. That's ridiculous. I am too. That's Brenda.
Oh, hi, Brenda.
She watches your stuff too. So
how sweet.
Yes, she's one of the ladies on here. Barefoot Adventures. Yeah, you guys can go support Kathy on her live streams. Kathy, I think she got above 4,000 watch hours just the last couple of weeks. She made it. So you were able to get monetized, right, Kathy? I'm having a hard time remembering everybody's getting that's achieving those goals. Like Jeremy and Angela at Living the Dream Off Grid. Living the Dream Homestead up in Idaho. My homesteading brother up there. They got monetized Friday night. They finally made it. They had their watch hours for weeks, but YouTube is taking forever to do anything right now. So anyway, thank you, Kathy. There's my adult best friend, Alan Banks. Alan right now is at an off-grid cabin up on property with a roaring river that's just ready for micro hydroelectric. Not even micro. The river's so huge he could put a hydroelectric generator in that river and power the whole neighborhood. But he is living. He's up there doing some work for a customer up there at their place, and I pretty much hate him for being up there away from everybody and just living the dream up there, getting paid to live in paradise up in the forest. Yeah, guys, if you don't know who Broussard Homestead is, Brett and Amy and their daughter Abby, the sweetheart of the bunch. Make sure we don't get any. Yeah, that's right. You were monetized 1.5 weeks ago. Nathan did. Oh, that's great. That's Nathan from Samson Farms. He's the vet that everybody loves. Nathan at Samson Farms. So thank you, Kathy, for that. You can put that up if you want to kick back and just enjoy the chat. Just watch out for trolls. That's fine, Kathy. I know you worked really hard on some of those other big chats, especially with Roots and Refuge. You must have been flying on the keyboard in that chat. Roots and Refuge had 1,200 people in the chat.
Oh my goodness.
Can you imagine 1,200 people? We get 30 people here at a time. So guys, this is the topic for tonight. Hey, Narrowway, thanks for coming in. There's another Christian brother here. So Brett and I had a great conversation this week, and he gave me permission to use his name liberally in this topic tonight, and I'm going to plagiarize pretty much everything Brett said. No, we had a good talk about what's going on with this whole red dragon thing, and basically where we at. So if you guys are all following, just the basic big headlines out there, we're all hearing the same kind of news that the data is finally coming out. That this was overhyped, overreacted, that the the mortality rate is like 0.01%, less than the seasonal flu. The question I have is who do we believe? Obviously, there's a lot of conflicting information, a lot of bad information, a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of, how much of that misinformation is deliberate? Are we seeing the globalists, which I personally believe? We see Bill Gates, the foundation, and Dr. Fauci is on the board of directors at the Gates Foundation. There's an ulterior motive there. Now they're looking for the vaccine. They stand to make millions and billions by selling the vaccine to a virus that came out of a lab that they helped set up. I mean, the conspiracy theories are obviously, you guys all know, are rampant out there. So who do we believe? We have the people in government, and then we have people that we're supposed to trust. We have a whole generation of non-critical thinkers in this country. All these kids, it's refreshing actually. A lot of kids. We had a bunch of kids over last night around a fire pit from the kids at the college group from our church, and they're all a bunch of critical thinkers. They're like, yeah, it's a bunch of garbage. They don't believe all the hype. It's a bunch of crap. And so people right now, and this is my biggest gripe with the whole thing, is yes, people were dying. Yes, I believe it's a real virus. I think the facts are there. But the data is coming out that's showing that it was way overhyped, and that closing down this economy has never been done before. Closing down the whole world. It needed to be done. Personally, I just believe it needed to really be done in a coordinated, targeted areas. We needed to protect our elderly. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, had done that. They put National Guard to help out with protecting all of their senior homes. How many retirees do they have in Florida? Those retirement communities. They restricted access to all those retirement communities. They had, as of last week, 2,200 infections, and they only had like 12 deaths in the whole state. How does that happen? How did that happen? Because they were smart and they were used common sense, right? So, who do we believe? I got into it with an ER doctor on a Facebook post this week, and this ER doctor is vehemently anti-Trump. He seriously suffers from Trump derangement syndrome. Nothing he does is right, and he's an evil person. It'll be interesting to see how he votes for if they put Biden in there. Well, we all know what's going on with Biden right now, right? They're trying to get rid of that guy because he's, assaulted that woman, and she's not going away. So he was talking about, because I had posted a response, and he was saying, well, the mortality rates are like 5%, 0.5% or something, and he was talking about how we need to really be safe with this and that, and because he's working in the ER, and talking about the things that he sees, and talking from personal experience. I said, well, here's 2 ER doctors over here in Kern County, California, that came out with all the studies that have come out that we've seen this week, this last couple of weeks, from USC Medical School, from the USC. I posted a link on Facebook from USC website itself that talked about the numbers. Stanford, which is a liberal school, had the same results. Missouri, Kansas, a couple of universities over there did the same thing. New York, another university over there. Same results, same numbers, same data. They correlate that the numbers are way, way lower, that hundreds of thousands of people had gotten this and been infected, and we didn't even know it in December and January. So I put that anti-post onto this ER doctor's post. He did not like that at all, and he attacked their credibility. So these were 2 ER doctors, and I have this other ER doctor that was putting this up there. These are people we're supposed to trust. These are people that have gotten educated, and they are at the top of their what's the word I'm looking for? They're at the top of their careers. They are ER doctors. They are probably some of the smartest people in the world. We're supposed to be able to trust these guys. Dr. Fauci, if I believe right, he's a surgeon. Hey, Kentucky Survivalists, thanks for coming in. Thank you very much. The Max, Jake Jacobs, we got some great people in the house tonight. Thank you for coming in, guys. So that's been my question the whole time. Early on, when this first started, I had a friend of mine push back on some of the things. I was saying, hey, this is everybody's panicking. We need to relax and not panic. And I had a friend saying, you need to stop misleading your flock. You need to be putting out good information out there. This is going to be bad. It's going to be serious. And it has been bad. People have died. But it's not been as bad as the regular seasonal flu that kills 50, 60,000 every single year. So, I mean, I had even friends that were saying this. And I'm like, well, who are you listening to? So that's been my question the whole time is, who do we listen to? Who do we trust? And when I just got into this last week, after, these doctors came out and this other ER doctor was, in my face, I'm like, well, am I supposed to trust you just because you're an ER doctor? Well, I'm a darn good crane operator, and I have a lot of brains. I know a few things, and I'm smart, and so I feel like I'm halfway educated, and I have my bachelor's degree, and so I'm smart enough to make decisions for myself and my family, and that's what it really boils down to: is who do we trust? The data that's coming out is going to show that all this was way overreacted. And so when Brett and I were talking this week, he was agreeing, and he was giving me so this is kind of where does this take us? And you guys saw my thumbnail on there, and I'm pulling my mask off in anger, right? I'm not wearing that mask unless I absolutely have to. We went to go buy pizza at Domino's last night. You couldn't go into the store to pick up your pizza locally unless you had your mask on. Stupid. They're all wearing gloves and masks in the store. Well, if one of them has germs on their gloves, they just pass it to 100 more pizza boxes and spread it to 100 more people. How ridiculous is that? So I'm over it, guys. I'm just absolutely over this. And you can see the protests that have erupted across this country. People are doing civil disobedience. They all went to the beach while I was at work yesterday. They all went to the beach. And down in Orange County, they weren't ticketing people in Orange County. All the people from San Diego County, where all the beaches are closed, and all the people from LA County, where all the beaches are closed, all came down to Orange County. There were hundreds of thousands at the beach yesterday because it was 95 here. It was horrible. People are sick of it, and people need to get to work. My question was, all of these people say, well, we need to, all these things that we did were to save people and to save lives. People's livelihoods have been destroyed. Their businesses have been destroyed. People are committing suicide. Hundreds of people have been committing suicide. Those are facts. The economic consequences of this whole crap is going to take time. So where does that leave us, guys? We all know the same story. You guys have heard. We've all been hearing this ad nauseum. I didn't want to get too deep into the negativity of the whole thing. What are the positives that we can take out of this thing? And that's what Brett and I were talking about this week. It was a great conversation. Brett, thank you so much for that talk. It was, and it confirmed everything that I was feeling in there. Hey, Julie, thanks for coming in. Jacinta Quintero, hey, thank you for coming. That's a new face, a new name there. Yeah, Ventura County, that's right, see, because Ventura County didn't close down their beaches, so people are going up there yesterday too. It's going to be in the 80s all week, so pandemic, exactly. Yeah, we're going to try not to put the words in there tonight, guys. We're not going to talk about any of this. The Red Dragon is as close as I'm going to get. It's interesting, YouTube is censoring all this stuff, and it's really sad. So let's talk about the positivity of this thing. I know, I have gone on ad nauseum with this, and Olivia, she's just gotten sick of it, and the kids are like, yeah. They wanted me to talk about it last night with their friends, but they didn't really want to listen. They asked me some questions, but they didn't really want to talk about it more than just a couple of minutes. Their attention spans were a little on the short side, but the negativity of the whole thing, it's not only is it bringing us down, but it's an easy rut to get into. So I've come up with some things here that Brett and I were talking about this week that are some things we can take away from this thing. And Brett had brought up a story, and he was talking about Brett's a fireman from Broussard Homestead, and he was sharing a story with the hurricane that came after Katrina, which was Tina. Dang it! You just told me, Brett. Brett just gave me the name. Anyway, I'll look at it later. It was the current hurricane that came after Katrina. No, it's okay. Not important. And so they were helping people. They were passing out survival food and MREs and whatnot to people that needed help. And he felt very fortunate to be able to help people. And but he said he recounted something that stuck with him. And Katrina was in 2005, guys. That was a horrible hurricane year, 2005. 15 years ago. A lady came to him in tears, wanting to know how she was going to be able to feed her children. He said, Rita. Okay. Yes, Rita. I said Tina, didn't I? Yes. Yes, Alan, thank you. You know what? Hold that thought. Lesson. Wash hands. So that was my second lesson. I'm glad you said that, Alan, because I was writing notes to myself as to the lessons that I have taken away from this, and that was actually one of my second lessons, and I couldn't remember what it was this week as I was thinking about this all week long. So that's Julie, Heaven Essentials.
Hi, Julie.
Hey, Patty, thanks for coming in. There's my other Oregonian with the webbed feet. So, what did they say about Oregonians? We don't tan, we rust. The Oregonians are because the mascot of the Oregon State University is the Oregon Ducks. The Ducks have webbed feet, and it rains so much in Oregon, so okay. Oregonians have webbed feet because it rains so much. I've shed my webbed feet, by the way. I'm moving to Idaho. And my feet have grown long and hairy like a hobbit, so I can go through the snow with no boots on.
Wow, I haven't noticed.
Just kidding. Anyway, so Brett was relaying that story. He said that story, that experience stuck with him, and he had decided at that point never again. That he was going to be prepared, and then he was sharing me some more fun information on that. But it took him another 7 years, or actually, I think he said 7 or 8 years before he really started getting serious about doing homesteading and prepping. And so I wanted to pair that with our experience. The whole reason we're getting out of California, you guys all have heard the story a million times. You know, between the taxes and the politics, and for me the heat. I can't stand this heat. The 95 was melting yesterday. But just the traffic and how congested it is, I'm done with it. We want to get to someplace a little quieter, more peaceful, and slow down. But I really have just fallen in love with homesteading. I grew up on the farm. We grew up canning, we grew up gardening, and putting up all that food. You know, we didn't have a lot of money. And all of those lessons stuck with me, and unknowing to me that those skills were going to pay off like crazy as an adult. So we had a garden here, and we had to limit how much we were growing because we couldn't eat it all. Olivia was constantly giving away bags of our stuff that we worked so hard to grow to everybody around. I'm like, we got to start, putting this stuff up and preserving it so we can have it through the wintertime. And so I grew up canning. We started canning. We've been canning has it been 15 years now?
Mm-hmm.
When I started doing the crane stuff.
Yeah.
So, and she started to can. Last year she canned her own batch of tomatoes for the first time on her own. So the city girl's getting slowly but surely changed to the farm girl, to the homesteader. Oh, honey, my baby. So those skills have come in handy, and now so here we are in this pandemic. So the last 15 years or so we've been doing this canning, and in the last 10 years or so I've started prepping. I haven't done all my videos yet for that, so stay tuned for those guys, and you guys can see what we've done. But because I live in California with all the earthquakes, there are a lot of things I've done, steps I've taken to protect my family and to, when the power goes down, so we don't lose our frozen goods and we have things to eat and the stores close down. If we get the really big 7, 8.0 where everything gets shut down, we're going to be screwed. So there's a lot of people out there that are not prepared, which brings up Brett's story. How many in this country are not prepared? I've been prepared for 10 years with water and food and fuel and backup power and communications. I've had my ham radio license for, gosh, it's almost probably 8 years. I actually need to look into renewing my license because I have to pay. If you don't pay it, you got to take the test again. Otherwise, you pay it and it's good for life. You just got to renew the fee. So I've had all that stuff as backup, as preparedness for years, and especially when that show Doomsday Preppers came out. I love that show. As wacko as those people are, a lot of them, and I used to scoff at the ones on the show that were, worried about a worldwide, the zombies are coming out. I used to scoff and go, yeah, so what? We have that stuff happen every year. We get the flu come through every year, and it doesn't shut down the world. This one did. I don't think it was because of how bad it was. I think it was because we have globalists and we have ulterior motives in our politicians. But I digress. So out of that, what can we take out of this lesson? What can we take out of this whole thing? Yes, I did. I fixed my Chad. I fixed my patio cover beam to protect my family. You know what, Chad? It wasn't coming down anyway. You know it wasn't. That thing is screwed and glued, and it was not going down. I just made it better. So now we can all stand on the patio cover and ride out the earthquake instead of, being under it. So what are the lessons, guys, with this thing? So I've written a couple notes down to myself. Some of the results of this. And the whole time I have advocated for calm preparedness, and that was the end result of my debate with my friend that was hitting me up saying I was giving out bad information. He said I'm just advocating for calm preparedness, and that's what I've been advocating forever is calm preparedness because a disaster is coming. I didn't expect this whole thing to shut down, but. So we have we already have had a big mistrust of government for a long time. Now the result of this thing is it's going to cause even more people to mistrust the government, especially as the data comes out. People are not going to trust people in positions of power. I already question people that are putting panic and hype out there. Until I see it with my own eyes, I'm going to be questioning and waiting. But I'm going to be prepared. The problem with a lot of people is that they don't trust government, but they don't prepare. They just think everything's going to be just fine. They put their heads in the sand and they ignore it until it's right in their face, or their house is collapsing around them, or a tornado just took off their house off its foundation, and then they deal with it, or they die, or they suffer injuries, and they don't prepare, or they're in a hurricane and they see it coming, but they don't evacuate. What was it? 1,200 people died in Katrina. I just looked it up, and they saw the hurricane coming. I for one I just could never bring myself to live where there's going to be a guaranteed bad storm every year like that hurricane. I know in Idaho we're going to have winter storms, whatever. But the hurricane thing, like Florida, you Louisianans, you are a breed apart. I tell you what. Anybody living in the Midwest over there, you guys that deal with the potential for tornadoes, you guys can have them. Not into it, but I know every single one of you on here tonight have prepared for those things. Who is that? Overbuilt Automotive. Thank you for coming in. Thank you very much. Yeah, 0.2 death, 4 out of 100. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for coming. That's a new channel in here, guys. I think I subscribed to you guys. I'm pretty sure I did, because I love building cars and working on stuff. So that's probably why you guys saw my name. So cool. Thanks for coming in tonight. Hey, Butch, Sand Hollow Homestead, thank you very much. Yes, I agree with that, Butch, absolutely. Yeah, Alan, it is a bomb shelter. I could put walls on it now. We have to go run out there, and in case of an earthquake, we have to run out to my patio cover now. So that's going to be a result. People are going to distrust those in power. We already distrust politicians. Trump has done more for this country and gained faith and passion for politics again for the first time in a long time. But in spite of as much as we love Trump, there's still a huge distrust of people in power and politics. And I hate to say it this way, but it seems like anybody with a liberal slant, anybody with a liberal mindset tends to be doom and gloom and advocating for this kind of stuff. So that's another rabbit hole. So those are going to be some of the lessons. Mistrust of anti-Trumpers. I'm trusting some of those people even less. Anybody that's trying to take Trump out, I'm just looking at them with a very, very critical eye at this point and not listening really much to what they have to say. So, what is this going to do? Brett was talking about this. He's I agree. I am glad that this has not ended up the way everybody was scared it was going to end up. I'm glad that the data is coming out and showing that it was way over. I'm glad about all that. Number one, all of you guys that are homesteaders, Brett, I got to give Brett the credit for this one too. He said prepping to him is sustainable homesteading. Nope, I got that backwards. Homesteading is sustainable prepping. So Corsair, I know you're a prepper. I know a couple of you guys in here are preppers, and we're preppers. And that if anything has lit a fire under all of our butts that have been doing this for a while, to kick that into high gear, because I didn't see it coming, but I was ready for it. Praise the Lord that we both have our jobs, and we are so blessed and fortunate. And I'm hoping a lot of you guys all have your jobs. Hey, Manifestation, thanks for coming in. Where the heck have you been, man? Fantastic. Fantastic. Awesome. So I'm going to be missing a few comments. I apologize. If you guys have, let me tell you guys, if you guys want me to respond to something specifically, put it in all caps. If you're not yelling at me, I get it. Put it all in all caps. Thank you, Kathy. Homesteading is just like Kathy did. You beat me to it. You put that because there's a 20-second delay. So Kathy already knows the drill. I'm okay. There's a couple of channels on there that if you put caps on there. Hey Dave, thanks for coming in. Thank you very much. Thanks for the scripture, Dave. I appreciate that. So okay, squirrel. I'm notorious for that. where was I at? Talking about the results. Where are we going to be at? So all of us homesteaders we've had an urban homestead here in our yard. You guys have seen my fruit trees. Every tree that I have produces fruit. We had interesting topic of conversation today with her. Because we have our garden in there. So tell everybody what you told me today.
Oh. that we should get chickens again, because the little area, the chicken run that we had built a few years ago when we had the chickens, the grass is like, I don't know, 3-4 feet high, and I'm not going to get in there and mow it or even try it and do that. And I thought, just with eggs being so expensive,
okay.
I thought, we should get chickens again. So anyway, and he said, if you're going to get chickens, you're going to take care of them.
Oh, geez. I'm working 65 hours a week. I mean, I can help out occasionally, but if you want them, you're gonna have to do most of it.
Well, I have my adult kids.
But I have that thing all set up.
I know
so
you
it's
do.
Almost maintenance free.
Well, like I said, I'm gonna go, but I want egg layers. I don't want to have to.
Well, of course.
Raise them up again. And
we're not gonna do meat birds here in the city. We'll do meat birds up there. We won't.
No. I mean, when I get them, I want them big and have them lay eggs.
I don't know if we can find them. We can look.
You never know.
So that was interesting, guys. We had chickens here. I built a really awesome chicken coop in the back with a self-waterer, feeder ready to go. I had the nesting boxes, easy to access. I had the poop trays. I just pull the trays out where they roost and go dump it in the compost. I've had the best compost forever. And but we got rid of them probably 5 or 6 years ago because they were getting kind of old and weren't laying very much. They were eating a lot but not laying a lot. I'm like, hey, time to kick them to the curb. They're not keeping their keep. They're not keeping their keep.
Keeping their, sure, why not?
They're not keeping their keep. They're not earning their keep.
Earning their keep.
Good grief! What is wrong with my brain tonight? You're a distraction.
No, you had a brain fart.
I get a brain fart because I'm getting old. So anyway, she wanted chickens again. The only thing is the time frame right now, guys, is about 10 months. Next spring. That is my goal, to be out of the state. So if we have chickens, we're going to have to either take them with us or get rid of them. That's the only thing.
We'll take them with us.
I mean, we can take them with us, but I mean, do a 2-day trip with chickens, that's going to be tricky. So that's something we have to think about. But she wants to get chickens again. So homesteading, guys. Hopefully this whole thing has kicked everybody in the butt. So there's a couple of things that I'm taking away from this thing. Is not only did it confirm in me that our homesteading that we've been doing has been right on the money, but hopefully all across this country, people are going to be doing a number of things. First and foremost is paying off debt. If people aren't paying off debt, man, I mean, you got to do a Dave Ramsey thing and just buckle down and make the sacrifices and do what you got to do. Our daughter is done with school. She finished this last Thursday, guys. My daughter is, she just graduated from Grand Canyon University with her BSN, which is a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And so she is going to be taking the NCLEX here in the next month or so, and hopefully she'll get a job. But unfortunately, part of the results of this whole shutdown across the country is that hospitals all across this country have laid off doctors and nurses. They're furloughing them like crazy. It's horrible because there's nobody in the hospitals. And there are hospitals, matter of fact, Pastor Jack Hibbs from Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills this morning said it's fact that there are hospitals across this country that had 0 patients and they're shut down. That's wrong. That's just wrong. So one of her friends that graduated last December, she got hired right away. She just got furloughed. A fresh grad student nurse, and she got furloughed. So it's happening all across the country, guys. Those are the results. People's lives are being destroyed. But so you got to paying off debt is going to be one of the first things we really got to do. We're still paying. And the reason I brought up Danae is because we were paying for her college, but now we're done paying for it, and all that money that we've been paying is going to be going to paying off the rest of our debt. And we're going to be debt free here, hopefully in the next 6 months, if not sooner. So that's the number one thing. and having some money stored up so that if you're without work, I was without work for almost 2 weeks. One week was because of they thought somebody was sick on my job, and the second week was because we had a week straight of rain. We were fine. I mean, we're a little low on funds, but we're fine because we were disciplined. We've been disciplined, and so paying off debt, financial, making preparations for finances. I know it's hard. Some people are on limited incomes. I know some of you are disabled vets and only have a limited amount of income coming in, and you're barely making ends meet, and you live from check to check, and that's tough. Hopefully your YouTube channel's grow and you can make some extra income and put that money aside. So if people that are trapped in a life situation where they can't save any money, that's hard to do, and I get that. But anybody else that has the time, if you need, and Dave Ramsey will advocate working 2 or 3 jobs to pay off debt and to save up money. He'll say, do whatever you got to do for 2 years solid. You put your nose to the grind and you save up money and you pay that debt off, and you get yourself a nest egg saved up so that you can weather a financial calamity like this. That's number one. So the finance is a big one. Number 2, putting up, storing, prepping, putting up food. You know, a little bit at a time. If you're buying canned goods at the store, buying them when they're on sale, whatever you got to do, learn how to can. Put food up that you grow it in your garden. If you've got a little small apartment, you don't have an excuse, unless you have no patio and you have nowhere to put it. There's no excuse to not be able to grow food. When we had our second apartment, you remember the planters I built? Mm-hmm. I was growing tomatoes and peppers just because I wanted them on my patio.
Yeah.
I did these planter boxes and had them up on the rail. We got all kinds of sun all day. It was fantastic. So you can make it work. So I'm hoping, and one last quote I'm gonna steal from Brett, and I hope I get it right. He says, when good people make for good times. Good times makes for lazy. I don't remember how it goes. I'm sorry, Brett. I chopped it. Good people make for good times. Good times make for lazy people. Lazy people make for bad times. Something along those lines. When things are good, how many of us dragged our feet? Brett said that it took him 7 years because he was making really, really good money at the job he was at, and so he put it on. Bless you. He put it on the back burner for 7 years and didn't do any prepping at all in any way, shape, or form. Fishes and Loaves, thank you for coming in. Awesome. Thank you for stopping in. I totally understand the kids. So it took him a while. How many of us have drug our feet when things were good and we say, I'll do it tomorrow? Man, I hope that the result of all this is to be kicking people in the butt that have never done any kind of prepping or anything to start at least seriously thinking about it. If they say that if this happens again, we get a second wave this next fall, that's the other downside too, is that the next person that gets a common cold and starts coughing and sneezing, everybody's going to be running for their masks and being like, get away from me, social distance. It's going to be horrible this next fall. I can see it already. I can see it right on the wall. So those are some lessons, guys. That conversation was because I was dying to share that with all of you guys tonight. And if you guys are already prepping, I know most of you already are. You have a Twinkie in your home. You have a box of Twinkies. That's funny. Stash Twinkies everywhere. Hey, whatever it takes. If you need some quick energy, I carry granola bars. I carry some Cliff Bars in my backpack with a bottle of water when I'm on my motorcycle. In my truck, I carry water and some food in case I get stuck and stranded. There's a lot of things we can that we do to prepare and survival stuff that we have. But all of you homesteaders that have done this, I'm preaching to the choir on this. But the rest of you guys, I hope that this whole thing has really, really caused a lot of you guys to think about prepping and getting things prepared, starting to store up cash. I know that they're talking about going to a cashless society, food, medical supplies, or whatever, so that you can survive something if it happens again.
Thank you, Victoria. Bless you, because I sneezed.
Yes. Yeah, and I feel bad for people who died too. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, it's a great point, Victoria. But we got to get back to it. People need to go back to work. So a lot of channels out there. Some friends of mine up in Idaho are putting out a lot of stuff that are like, hey, our freedoms are being taken away in Idaho of all places. That governor up there is a liberal pile of poo, and some of the mayors up there are piles of poo. And people, I don't know how many of you guys saw the story on Facebook and all over the news about the mom at the park that got arrested. And everybody was, I read the comments. There were some nasty people on the comments on that video, saying that she deserved it. She was egging them on and all this stuff. She was an activist. Okay, so she's an activist. If I didn't have a job, I would be out there with my placard and my sign protesting. I would be an activist. Absolutely. Take me to jail. I mean, if that's what it takes. But she went to jail. She bailed out that night, but they did it in front of her kids. People are standing up all across this country because they're seeing what's going on. And they're seeing the tyranny. They're seeing what the globalists and the socialists are trying to do to our country. And it's interesting to see all across this country, there's like 20 states that are going to be opening up in the next couple of days across this country. Almost all of them are conservative governors. Not all of them, but most of them. The really, really liberal lefties that have an agenda, the socialists, are dragging their feet and trying to make Trump look as bad as they can. Governor Newsom right here in California is one of them. Washington and Oregon, the governors of these three states have entered into a pact, supposedly, that they're gonna hang on and keep things closed down to make sure people they've had enough of it. So patriots are standing up. There are channels out there that are putting out videos that are taking away our freedoms. I hope people stand up and people go vote this November. Vote for conservatives that stand up for our freedoms. First Amendment, the freedom to express ourselves, the freedom to gather together. There was a lawsuit by some churches here against Governor Newsom and that Barcera, the Attorney General Barcera, that guy's a Venezuelan socialist. Oh man, can't stand the guy. And they sued and they had to back down because these churches were meeting in the parking lots, social distancing in their cars in the parking lots, but still going to the parking lots. And these people were getting ticketed, and they were being told they could not. They were going to get arrested if they showed up at these church parking lots all over the state. And they sued and they won and they had to back down. And that's happening. We're seeing lawsuits being filed all over the place. It happened over there in Kentucky too, I believe. They sued and they had to back down. So patriots are going to have to stand up. We got to stand up for our rights. We need to be preparing. We need to be paying off debt. We need to. That was my point. If you guys are already doing this, anybody around you, as a Christian, we're to look out for our brother and sister and to help those that are in need. So, if we know people, I've been meaning to talk to Olivia about this. I hadn't even talked to you about that. But if we know people that need help, we need to do it. We need to step up because we have. I mean, we're not rich, but compared to some people, we are. We're very wealthy compared to some people. It's all a matter of perspective. We need to help our brother and sister that are in a time of need. So if you know people that have lost jobs, matter of fact, I need to reach out to my stepbrother, who is an engineer for Honda, America Honda in Ohio. And apparently, I just heard just a day ago that he got laid off a couple of weeks ago. So he was one of those financial. That guy is the cheapest guy I know. So I know he's probably got $1 million by now stashed up in a mattress, but he probably doesn't need my help. But right, Christy, are you still in here? Hey, Dave, thanks for coming in. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll get back to that. Oh, I know more. Who said federal money? Who is that? Who said federal money? Who said that they need for Sand Hollow Butch? Yes. Yeah, you know what, Butch? There's an agenda for that too. So, hey, Chad bought a Berkey. Awesome. Anyway, absolutely, Patty. Absolutely, fantastic. And I am going to publicly apologize to someone tonight in the chat, just for a little squirrel tangent here, and you know who you are. That I had posted something on Instagram this last week, It was last weekend. And I had gone to a local store. And out of frustration, I did a quick little video of the stickers they place on the floor about social distancing, 6 feet apart. And they had 3 or 4 checkouts open, but they were funneling everybody in the store to one line. And the line moved really, really fast. And it's not that I have a problem waiting in line. I have a problem waiting for things that are unnecessary to wait for. Like, what's the holdup here? Why can't we move on? But I don't generally, I don't make people, I don't make comments, I don't grumble, I don't do anything. I keep very, very appropriate when I'm out in public. I'm very open and I'm friendly with people, but I don't express my displeasure. So, but I had posted that on Instagram, and somebody pushed back and said, they're like, really, and it came off like I was mad about the line. And so I did not communicate the reason for the post. I was displeased with what was going on and the fact that we didn't need to be all funneled into one line when they had all these checkouts open, and because of what was happening out there, because of the shutdown. And actually, Olivia was with me. We had actually driven past Home Depot, and Home Depot had just instituted last week or a week and a half ago new policies, and they had 100 people waiting to get into the stinking store, and I needed some wood. We were going to Lowe's, and we saw that they were only allowing so many people into the store at a time. You have to wear your mask and all that stuff to go into Home Depot. I'm like, screw that, I'm not going there. I'm going to Lowe's. They're not making people wait. We wore our masks. No, I didn't. We didn't wear our masks. No, we didn't wear our masks into Lowe's, and they didn't make us either.
So there was no line.
And there was no line. We passed all those people at Home Depot waiting and went to Lowe's because of that. But in the meantime, we stopped at Smart and Final to go in there. So anyway, the reason of my post was to express we had just seen all that, and we went to Smart and Final, and it wasn't the waiting that made me frustrated, but that's the way the post came off. And one of you subscribers, one of you dear subscribers, was very upset with me about that, and that's not what I intended at all. And so I apologized, and I hope you saw my post. I hope you saw my response. I don't know that you did, but. Very upset because people that are impatient, there's enough anxiety and worry going around, and I totally get it. And I did not mean to cause that kind of anxiety in any of my subscribers or friends in any way. So I need to do a better job of communicating. Facebook posts and text messages and all that. There's so much lost in the written word, where you guys can see the genuine and the intention by my live face and the tone in my voice. And there's so much more communicated in body language. You guys all know this. Now I don't need to belabor the point, but that was the post. I need to do a better job of being intentional about what I post out there. So as this channel grows, I've got to be more careful with that. I've got to be careful about what I say, what I don't say, and be mindful of people's feelings. Now, there's going to be people you can't please no matter what. I get it, but it is what it is. So anyway, there you go, guys. Just like my video last week when I said I was wrong about my patio cover, and I needed to make some adjustments to it because of some of the subscribers, and Chad from 9 to 5 to Life had made a point about my scarf joint. And so I adjusted my new scarf joint on the new wood that I put up there, the bigger wood. I made an adjustment on the scarf joint just to make it that much stronger. And so I want to be responsive and, what's the word I want to say? I want to be responsive. I want to be,
Respectful? No.
well, when people say things, I want to be, I guess responsive is the right word too. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Did you get this?
There's a topic. Okay, generator. I will tell you that in 1 second here. Let me just make sure I am. So that's the first one, guys. Paying off your debt and getting prepping, looking for ways to support yourself and others around you, not to be dependent on other people. Another thing I'm going to be looking at, something that I have never really done that much of, except for in my crane, because I have no way to wash my hands in my crane. I have a big jug of hand sanitizer in my crane. But definitely being a little more proactive about using hands. She has been total the mommy freak with the kids ever since they were born, to use hand sanitizer and keeping them clean, washing their hands all the time. She has little hand sanitizers in the car. And I have just kind of, big deal. I just wash my hands when I get in the house. Man, from now on, I'm going to be a little more conscientious and more cognitive about that, and be carrying hand sanitizer with me in my vehicles, and
which you now do.
Which I now do, thanks to her, and washing my hands and watching out. And you know, this next fall, when people are coughing and sneezing, definitely going to be avoiding and definitely being more proactive about that kind of thing. So that's another result of this whole thing that's going on. People are going to be rethinking that whole. They're already doing it. And then the last thing, I think, it was just we got to be thinking critically. We question everything. I think all you guys already do. All of you homesteaders already are critical thinkers. You guys already look at stuff and looking for ways to do things on your own, and looking for ways to go around the man, per se. So those are my topics, and thanks to Brett at Broussard's. Thank you, Brett, for that conversation this week. It was a great topic, and I'm just going to keep reinforcing that in all of my posts and my blogs and everything else, and to be mindful, because and that's something I've said in my disaster preparedness videos all this time, is that we did disaster preparedness because of the earthquakes, but a lot of people out here in California still just blow it off. Because the house creaks once in a while, we get a crack in the plaster, big deal. Well, all you guys in the Midwest and down south, you guys are way more proactive in preparing for a disaster because of a tornado or a hurricane or whatever down there. You guys are used to it. So I think the whole country is going to be a lot more proactive from now on. So that is the last of there's my soapbox for the night, hour-long soapbox. Answer a couple questions. Jeremy, you asked what kind of a generator, what size generator do I have? I have two generators. I have a 4,000 watt generator that my buddy Alan Banks gave me a long time ago. Up in my place up in Idaho, I have a 7,500 watt, 7.5 kilowatt generator. And then I have a 1,000 watt little Honda EU, the little quiet one. So if the power goes out, we don't have battery backups here in our house in California. We have an off-grid solar system up in Idaho. And so we can survive, well, we're going to live. We're not just going to survive, we're going to live up in Idaho without any grid-tied power. But down here, if the power goes out, we'll use those generators to hook up the freezer and the refrigerator to keep those things cold. Those will be the critical, what they call critical circuits. And that's it. So Amy's in the house. Thanks for coming in, Amy. Yes, Chad, insurance is higher in California because of earthquake. And earthquake insurance
But you don't have to have it.
But you don't have to have earthquake insurance.
We don't live in an area. We do live in an area, but I'm saying more people who live kind of like in the higher. Remember at the beach when they had the earthquake in the mountains?
Well, if you live on a fault line,
right?
It's an established fault line, what they discovered in that La Habra earthquake that we had about 7-8 years ago, we had a 5.1 right underneath of us, guys, right here in La Habra. And what they discovered, and what we discovered was that the not the Whittier Narrows, not the Loma Prieta, Rolling Hill. Anyway, there's a fault line that just starts on the other side of the hill, runs down here catty corner through La Habra all the way west through Whittier to East LA, and they've discovered that fault line, because if it goes, and they're more scared about that fault line than the San Andreas or any other fault line, because this fault line that we're actually sitting on right here, if it goes, if we get a 7 or 8, it goes through some of the most highly populated parts of Los Angeles, East LA, Whittier, where we're 25 miles from downtown Los Angeles. We're in a suburb of Los Angeles, but that fault line goes right underneath some of the highest concentrations of people in all of the Southland. So they think more people will be injured and die because of that. But they didn't. But our insurance company has not put us on a high risk deal there. So hopefully that answered your question, Chad. That's okay, manifestation. Totally understand. We've got to do life. Totally get it. The world has not ended yet. It was close. We had a brush with the end. And did Ron come in? Have we been blessed with Ron from Off Grid McGarvey Style again? Fantastic. Awesome. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Everybody's saying hi to him. There you are. Oh, I love it. Always be a critical thinker. Yeah, if you guys want to learn something, Ron's got a great channel for learning stuff too. And somebody, who was that? Was that Dave Northwater? No, it was Roger Betancourt, and he's in here quite a bit too. Left a really nice comment on because I just got a great fuel tank deal for my truck. Backup fuel, guys. That's a hard one because you've got to put fuel stable. If you're going to keep fuel laying around for 6 months to a year, you've got to put fuel stabilizers in those to keep the fuel from going bad. Diesel especially tends to attract water, as does gasoline, but gasoline starts to kind of go bad, so you need to rotate your fuel storage. Roger left a really nice comment on my video, and he said that he always learns something from my videos. And you know what? If that's the truth, if you guys all learned one little nugget of information, then I feel like I have accomplished the purpose for my videos, is to teach somebody something and to pass on some knowledge. Because I sure the heck have learned a lot from you guys, learned a lot from Ron for sure. So let's see. You know what? Absolutely overbuilt automotive. That's a great. I'm glad you brought that up, because on the back side of my house right now I have a box with an alternator for my truck that I just replaced the alternator, and I've been meaning to, and I had one on hand ready to go. We took a trip to Idaho, which we're going to do in about 8 weeks, guys. We're going to our place in Idaho, and we're going to film it, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have a meetup. That's the last thing I forgot to tell you guys tonight. 24 people in the house. None of my Idaho peeps are in here tonight. Robertson's Belly Acres, thank you for coming in. Oklahoma. Fantastic. I was born in Muskogee, Oklahoma. I'm an Okie. So I keep extra auto parts with me, fan belts, serpentine belts, a starter, an alternator. I will take those with me on a trip, as well as a making sure my spare tire. You do a road trip, those are things you need to make sure you take along with you. So those are excellent points. Automotive, that was fantastic. Everyone in the home needs a few cat friends. Yeah, yeah, cats. You can have the cats. The only reason we're gonna get a cat when we go to Idaho is for a mouser. So, fantastic manifestation. You're gonna be doing. Hey Ron, and we're gonna grow kale for the first time this year. We got some seeds from Burning Hearth Homestead, and he sent us some kale seeds, and it's growing like crazy. Kale grows good, so we're gonna try kale for the first time. Yeah, cats are good. Oh, that's right, Butch, you're still here. Okay, but you're South Idaho. You guys, hey Butch, are you guys gonna try and make it to our Idaho meetup? That was the last thing I wanted to tell you guys tonight. Oh, Victoria May wants to know what you're making.
Oh, sorry, I saw this pattern on YouTube by Melanie Ham, and I'm actually making a little duffel bag.
Oh, it's not a baby beanie?
No, and I'm just...
She's an aunt to 65, 68 nieces and nephews, and so she's always making stuff.
So this is called, do I have it the right way? Yeah, this is called a star stitch right here. So I circled in the round here, and then I changed my color.
Back up a little bit.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah.
You want to be able to see that star stitch. So it's like a, there you go. Can you see it? Yeah. There you go. So it's a star stitch.
Oh, that's cool.
So anyway, yeah, it's fine. It's therapeutic for me.
My wifey, she's the outdoor sports girl, never did any of this her whole life, and now look at her. She's a craft queen now. I love it. Absolutely, Patty. Cats need no freeloaders. That's right. No house princesses is going to be in my place. We already have the house princess. It's called Marley the Boxer. She's the only princess here. Good grief. So yes. Oh goodness gracious. What'd you put up there? Southern Idaho neighbors meet. Oh, thank you for putting that up there. Okay, so that's the Southern Idaho one. We are also going to be doing our Idaho meetup in Northern Idaho, and it's going to be Saturday, June I've got to design the announcement for it, guys.
Jeremy Lawson's leaving.
Good night, Jeremy. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for sticking around, brother. I appreciate it. There goes my childhood bud. Saturday, June 27th is going to be our. We already have the park reserved in up in northern Idaho, and we're going to have a YouTubers are going to meet. And the plan right now is to have the YouTube channels and creators up there meet for a couple of hours in the morning, and then those that want to stick around and have a meet and greet for their fans and their subscribers, we're going to invite the general public that wants to come and come after lunchtime. So we'll probably we're going to do like a barbecue or something, and then we'll have the fans. That's the plan as of right now. That may change. We may just have everybody show up all at one time. We may do it that way. I'm not sure yet. So I got to work out the logistics. But with this whole thing, it's all been up in the air. But you know what? With the way things are going at this point over the next couple of weeks and everything opening up again, we're gonna do it. I'm not afraid anymore. I don't have any fear of anything. So we're going to charge ahead with it, and it should be a fun time. And we'll live stream the event for you guys if you guys are interested in watching. And we'll also be doing some filming and doing some interviewing and that kind of thing. So it should be fun. So we will put that out. Good night, Ron. Thank you for coming in. Fantastic. You have a fantastic night too, Ron. Thank you very much. So we'll put that out there, guys. We'll do the announcement, and I'll be posting it all over Facebook and Instagram. If you guys aren't followers, I don't put a lot of stuff on here yet for Instagram, but that's growing. And you can go see Instagram. It's Scotty P 1968. But you can look up Hidden Valley Homestead, and you can go look up Hidden Valley Homestead Facebook page as well. And I'll be putting that announcement on there as well. So. Okay, I don't have any details yet. That's what I'm saying, Kathy. I don't have any details yet. I gotta do the announcement. I want to do some artwork and put something together, and I'll let you know. So over the next week and over the next 2 weeks, I will have that done. I think we have time because we have 8 weeks. It's going to be June 27th, so we technically have 2 months to go. So we have time. So. Okay, well, I want to make sure I catch up on any questions that are lingering around here. Oh, you guys are talking about cats. So let's see here. You are not talking to Chad about crocheting.
His daughters.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, cats. I think cats are. They're okay. They're fun to play with when they're kittens, I think. But we'll have a cat up there for a mouser for sure. But that's a bit. But man's best friend has always been a dog. So. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't go back and answer any questions. Let's see here. Do you guys have any questions for us? We are, those of you that are new to the chat, that Overbuilt Automotive, I don't know if you're familiar with our story. All the rest of you, I think, are. There's a couple new people in here tonight. We are escaping California, and we have less than 12 months to go. By next spring, we're going to be out of the state. We're planning on, I'm hoping everything rebounds. I'm really hoping it rebounds to where we were at. It's going to take a little while, I think, but as soon as we can, as soon as things rebound and things look good, once we have our debt paid off and we have some money saved up for a tractor, we're selling this place. We have done a lot of work on it, and that's been a few of my videos is doing some home improvement stuff around the place to get this place fixed up so we get top dollar for it when we go to sell it. Excuse me, it has been completely remodeled all the way, top down, all the way around, inside and out, and so it should get top dollar when we're ready to go. So,
well, except for the kitchen.
Except for the kitchen and the first bathroom, those could both be getting. Yeah, we're gonna get out of California. It's funny, and I wish we'd gotten out a long time ago. But you know how you get comfortable. You get a good job and you settle down, you're raising your kids, and it's like it's easy. because it's going to be a lot of work, guys. Watching Jeremy and Melissa Salza from Good Simple Living blows my mind. She said in last night's live stream that since they left Washington, they sold their house and they actually moved the rest of their stuff out and left like a day before it actually closed escrow. So she said it was a little nerve-wracking. But she said they gained 6,000 subscribers since they left in the last 2 weeks. Blows my mind. I can only dream of having 6,000 subscribers. But they had up to 750 people in the chat last night. It was amazing. And they are live streaming from their new place up in northern Idaho. And but she was a little afraid. She's the meat rabbit lady that everybody talks about and been attacked by Pete and everybody else. So they're a fun channel. Gorgeous family. Their daughter is a fantastic musician, has her own YouTube channel, and she's got a voice is just amazing. But so we've followed a lot of the journeys. So those of you guys that don't know everybody here, like Overbuilt Automotive, if you guys are interested, they steal elections out there. Interesting, up in Idaho. I haven't heard that yet, but yeah, exactly, Manifestation. You're absolutely right. They talk about the left coast, or California is full of nuts and.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna give Marley a bike ride before we lose sun. She needs her exercise.
Yeah,
so
get her out.
Thank you for entertaining my husband. He lives for this live video.
No,
I'm just kidding. He enjoys it.
I do, but I learn.
I know
learn.
you do.
They
All
learn
right.
from me, and I learn from them.
Come on, Marley, let's go for a bike ride.
Yeah, she's got to give Marley a bike ride. Marley's been laying on the couch all day. So, yeah, Cali's it's just been out of control, and been living here forever. I came down here for college. I grew up in Oregon, came down here for college, and then got stuck. We've been married. We'll be 27 years this year, married, and with 2 beautiful kids. And now the kids are almost out on their own, and we're almost empty. Well, they're both home right now, obviously, but they're gonna be out doing their own thing, and we're gonna be leaving Friday. I'm barely 51. Well, I'll be turning 52 in July, but we're still young enough I want to get up there before I'm too old. I don't want to retire up there. I want to get up there now and do stuff. So that's the plan, guys. And the whole channel is dedicated to our escape and developing, sharing with you guys the journey that we've had with our urban homesteading here and urban disaster prep. And then we're going to be taking all those skills that we have learned here in our California home. Did not know we were going to need those things. So this move to Idaho just came up a couple years ago. Just started getting really bad here, and we were like, man, this just sucks. And one of my friends who lives in Elko, Nevada, we worked on the same job, even the crane operator with me, Josh Wiggins, and he moved his family up to Elko, Nevada. He's in his young 40s, I think, and so he's just barely having toddlers. I think his daughter is 7 now, or 6 or 7. But they're like, yeah, we got to get out of it. He's a hardcore ex-Marine, and he's like, we got to get out of this place, and they're gone. And I'm like, man, and that guy's really what lit the fire underneath me to start looking to get the heck out of this place. Hey, Michelle, thanks for coming in. Darn, you missed it. We had a great talk tonight. It was awesome. We were talking about prepping and stuff. So, Chad, you're a youngster. You're just a kid, 37 years old. Well, I'll tell you what, having 5 girls in your home. So, guys, I'm going to tell you guys, all go check out Chad Maynard and his lovely wife and his 4 girls, actually 5 daughters. And at 9 to 5 to Life, off grid. Just if you guys go subscribe to his channel, just out of pity for the guy, but thankfully he has a video. He's teaching him to shoot, and man, every single one of those girls is an unbelievable markswoman, unbelievable. So he won't have to have multiple rounds in his guns when all the boys start coming around. They're going to be able to take care of themselves. Thank the Lord. He is raising them girls up right. But guys, just go subscribe to Chad out of pity. I pity the fool that gets more than 1 daughter. I have 1 daughter, and man, she gave me gray hairs. So the point of all that, Chad, was that you may be only 37, but they're going to make you old. quick. I'm speaking from experience. My daughter is 22, and man, oh man, whew. And she's a looker. She looks like her mom, and oh man, I could tell you stories. So anyway, hanging on to your, hanging on the edge of your seat to see the videos. Oh yes, Victoria, thank you for that. You know, that's fun that you said. That is so fun that you said that. I am so excited to share the journey. We're excited to share the journey with you guys. We're gonna share the trip to Idaho this coming up in a month and a half or so. But when we start moving and it starts getting real, Olivia, she's gonna be she doesn't like me talking a lot about it because she's like, we just can't do it right now anyway. We still got to pay off debt. But once that debt is paid off, in the next 6 months or so, she's gonna start sweating. She loves it up there, but she's nervous. She's never been out of California her whole life. I grew up in Oregon. When I was in grade school, I spent 2 years in Puerto Rico. My dad was a pastor and a principal of a Christian school in Puerto Rico. So I spent the first and second grade running around with a bunch of Puerto Rican kids at a Christian school, learned how to speak Spanish. Came back to Oregon. Excuse me. My mom died when I was 10. Dad moved me and my sister to Joplin, Missouri. We lived in misery for a year. He married my stepmom Nancy, and they brought 2 girls and a boy into the family, so that made 7 of us. And then they both had my youngest brother Caleb, and then we moved all back to Oregon. So but I was born in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and I barely remember anything from Muskogee. So I've been in a lot of places. She's never been out anywhere but California her whole life. So, and she's been a city girl, very outdoorsy and athletic, but. Anyway, that's our story. We've been married 27 years, and we're getting the heck out. So I'm really glad you said that, Victoria. I can't wait to share it with you guys. And it seems like, especially with Jeremy and Melissa from Good Simple Living, that they 6,000 subscribers in 2 weeks. It still blows my mind. I'm still geeking out about it. I promise not to say any more tonight. I know I've said it like 5 times already. That was a fantastic, and that's why everybody wants to watch Chad at 9 to 5 to Life and his family, because that's exactly what they're doing. So, Victoria, you got to go watch their channel, and you guys got to keep leaving comments and keep pushing them to put videos out, because people want to see that. See, Chad, I told you, people want to see your story. People love that story. So, anyway, I had the chat paused for a second there, so. You haven't for a while. He wants to get a pew-pew. I like that. Yes, do I still bang bang? Yes, I do. Oh, you're talking to Kathy. Gotcha. Getting started home. I missed you guys having some conversation. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about that ham radio license. Alan says Olivia needs to get her license. I'm going to be talking to her about that. I haven't talked to her about it yet, Alan. How did we meet? We met at church, and it was funny. You feel badly for Olivia. You know what? You feel bad all you want. I'm going to protect her, Michelle. So I know how to use a pew pew, and I know how to shoot. So she feels safe with me. Good night, Brenda. Thank you for coming in. Fantastic. I love it when you're in the chat. Thank you very much. It is about the stories, absolutely. So we met at church. It's funny, we were just talking to some friends about that last night. Actually, all the kids had their friends over at the fire pit, and they asked how we met, and I said, yeah, we've been going to the same church. She'd been going there for 4 years, and I had just started going a couple years before that, and we were going to the same college group, different friend groups. Keep in mind that our college group was its own church within a church. We had our own pastor, and we had our own services and everything, and there was a membership of 300 college and young adult kids in our group alone. And then Eastside as a whole was like 5,000 people. It was a big church. And we had been both going to that church for years, never once saw her. And then one night at a Bible study, in the summertime, they used to have volleyball for an hour before Bible study on Wednesdays. And I saw her. She had a pair of jean shorts on and a white T-shirt, and she had her hair in a ponytail, and she was bouncing across the grass with her friend, her best friend Carrie at the time, and I about lost my mind. I'm like, who the heck is that? And the rest is history. I went in that night and I was she had beat me in. They were going in to go sit down and get seats, and I came in a few minutes later and I looked to see if there were any seats taken, and she had leaned over and she smiled and waved at me, and I'm like, oh, but I didn't see that there was an open. She had been making sure there was an empty seat, but I didn't see it. She told me that later that she had an empty seat there, hoping I would sit there, and I didn't. But I saw her as she smiled, and I actually wrote my phone number down on I knew what car she drove. I had seen her driving her little Honda Prelude, and a white Honda Prelude, and I said, hey, I think you're nice. Give me a call if you want. I specifically remember saying, I think you're nice, not I think you're cute. She thinks I said, I think you're cute. We were going to debate that till the day we died. I said, I was never that forward. I would say, I think you're nice. Call me if you want. And left my phone number and put it under her windshield wiper. And when I went home, and then she called me a half an hour later, and we talked for like 3 hours that night. And the rest is history. So I roped her in. I got her. So I'm a lucky man. I married up. I know. So anyway, that's how we met. And, you know. Oh, Alan, you know what? You didn't have to go there. They were not pink. She says they're turquoise. I say they were purple. I used to ride my Honda Shadow around. It was like a fake Harley. And I had one time I went to meet her at church, and I had these. They were nylon like dolphin shorts, and they were purple. She says they were turquoise. I'm like, no. Riding them on my Harley. We talked about this already once before, guys, with the air billing them up. So anyway, that's the end of that. Oh, Chad, what the heck? You were in that conversation a few weeks back too, weren't you? Yes, Kathy, it's a fact. I was a poor college kid, and I had whatever I had to wear at the time, and I wasn't wearing pants on a hot day, so I I threw a pair of shorts on and wasn't thinking about what they looked like. So that is true. Anyway, Ken Johnson, hey. He's a Calvary. Very cool. Hey, Robertson's Bellier, thank you very much for that. Yeah, you just keep egging Alan on. Thank you for that, Robertson's. Nope, Olivia, you're not going to hear Olivia's side of the story. We've already had that conversation here. That's why Chad and everybody already knows the story, Alan. Nice try. As everybody knows. Yes, Kathy. Yes, she got a word in. See, I'm able to get my 10,000 words a day out cumulative one time a week here with you guys. So the rest of the week I don't talk as much with her, which she's okay with. You know what's funny? They say that women have to get 30,000 words out a day to feel fulfilled, and men are like 10,000 words. That's why guys don't talk very much. I think it's reversed for her and I. You know, she definitely is not a talker. So, anyhow, hey, hold on 1 second, guys. Hey, what's up, bud?
I got a question, dude. Alright, so the security guard comes over here, right?
Okay.
ES can't be here. So it's public parking, correct? Public parking structure.
Uh-huh.
I said, why not? Why not? He said, because it's the city's. I said, yeah, it's public parking. Why can't we be here? He said, it's for parking, not for hanging out.
Okay, so you're at a public parking facility, and the security guard's telling you guys can't hang out there.
Exactly. I'm saying we stay here, have him call the cops, and have the cops come take us out. It's a public parking, dude. Where's the rules saying you can't hang out here, but yeah, you can park here?
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's interesting, guys. So that's an interesting dilemma. I'm not sure exactly what to tell you. I know it's annoying and irritating. What public parking structure are you guys at?
It's in Anaheim. in public parking. There's one for employees next to us. There's one for public. There's like 3 other cars parked here. I say we just sit in the back of the truck and say we're parked.
Well, you can tell him and say, well, you don't have any authority to kick us out. I mean, well, if he's a security guard for the parking structure, he does have the authority to kick you out, and he does have the authority to issue a trespass and charge you with trespassing. He would have to call the police and tell them he wants to have you arrested for trespassing, and they can do that. So he does have the authority if he is in charge of that parking structure. So just be aware of that.
Usually if you're just nice.
If they call the cops and say, well, if he doesn't want to reason with you at all.
Nah, dude, he just gave up. He's like, you guys can't be here, and just walks away. He just like flat out gave up. I was trying to talk to him. He just walks away.
What did he say? Did he say he was going to call the cops on you if you didn't leave?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, just say, okay, we're just going to let our barbecue cool off and then we'll be out. Just kind of play it off. You know, we're letting the barbecue cool off.
Did you guys already barbecue?
Yeah, we ate and stuff.
Oh, then cool. Then that's what I would say. And sunsets in a few more, another half an hour?
About.
Yeah, I would get everything mostly put away and just hang out. And if he comes by and says, yeah, hey, dude, I'm letting the barbecue cool down. As soon as it's cooled down, we'll pack up and leave.
Yeah.
And we're, yeah. There's no signs that say close down or nothing like that.
No, dude, there's nothing.
Just
There's
be
nothing.
nice
There's other cars
and then
parked
you'll
here,
be
too.
nice.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Just be nice, be nice as much as you can and be like, yeah, we're just waiting for the barbecue to shut down.
Yeah, so stupid.
It is. It's dumb. I know. We're all over it.
Yeah.
All right, bud.
I told him, like, dude, come on, it's quarantine. We're just having good, clean fun. You really gonna kick us out? I didn't even told him that.
Right.
He didn't even care. He just said, you can't be here, and just walks away.
Yeah. He's a
Really,
weenie.
man?
He's a weenie. All right. Well, if he comes back again, you'll have to deal with it. If not, I just hang out.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I'll let you get back to your
All right.
routine.
Be careful.
Bye, I love you.
All right. Bye. All right. So do you guys? I thought I'd clue you guys in on that. That's the kind of baloney that this whole country's dealing with. My kids are having some good, clean fun with some church friends. They took a barbecue to the top of a parking structure to watch the sunset and have some bacon wrapped hot dogs. And the security, got a little weenie security. And this is Orange County, not LA County or San Diego. This is Orange County where they have not had strict stay. I mean, I know the whole state is under strict stay-at-home orders, but that's what he's saying. You can't be here. Well, call the cops. Squirrel. Hope you guys enjoyed that little conversation. That's my 20-year-old son. He's frustrated. I get it. We're all frustrated. So anyway, we were talking about something. Oh, there we go. Oh, you guys, okay, cool. You guys all heard that. Fantastic. I was hoping you guys would all hear that. Is a parking lot? No, it's not. It was a public parking, and they were at a public parking area down in Anaheim. Next to them was a private one for employees, but they'd get kicked out of that right away. It's exactly, thank you, Patty. It's exactly what I said.
Are you almost done there?
Call it loitering, and then there's a fine. Yeah, exactly. On Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and answers. Very cool. Awesome over, Bill. Thank you for that. Thank you, Kathy. Yep, California. No, there's no curfew. So.
Are you almost done, honey?
I think so.
Okay, but we need to get milk.
Okay. All right, guys. That is all I had for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being in here. We have to go to the store and get milk before it closes. They are everything. All those stores are closing early for what's going on. So, guys, thank you so much for the chat. You guys are fantastic. We wouldn't be doing this well without you guys. Thank you, Kathy, the Mod Queen. You guys go check each other's channels out. And we've had some new channels in here tonight, and I really am grateful for everybody stopping in and saying hello. So thank you again. If Brett and Amy, if you guys are still in here hanging out, you guys are probably already gone. You guys had a long day today. It looks like you guys are out there working in the garden and stuff. So, but thanks, guys, everybody, for this. I'm trying to do them pretty much every Sunday. Last Sunday I was finishing up a video, so I didn't do one. But pretty much every Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. we'll do I shoot for an hour, and we'll talk about what's going on out there, and share some more information, and keep building this community. Community is where it's at. This community has been nothing but supportive and helpful to each other during this whole national crisis. It's just fantastic, and so hopefully you guys are still learning from me. I'm still learning from all you guys. It's just been a great night. So thank you guys. Good night, Patty. Good night, everybody, for everybody coming in, and we'll see you guys next week.